Good. Here, adjust this for, how's that? We good? Yeah, just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk through, obviously, some news that we put out earlier today about the game day experience and the fan experience around our football games beginning with next season. And I think it's really exciting, and I hope it's really exciting, and hopefully a large majority of our fans took it that way. Just some what we think will be welcome additions to our game day. And one is obviously just the fan zone that we're going to plan on building right there at the northeast corner of the purple lot. And that's just, to me, the best way to describe that is it's just an area where all fans, no matter what they do on game day, have an opportunity to experience this. One of the things that Vince said is we got this approved through the board, and one thing we talked about in our internal meetings is, we have a lot of premium spaces in our stadium that some people have access to, but we don't have a lot of areas that every fan can go to, and that's what we're trying to create here. It's just going to be a family-friendly zone where fans can just go and have a good time. We looked around the country, and there was a handful of venues that have started doing this, most notably the University of Texas is one, University of Washington, BYU, but they're starting to pop up here and there and try to replicate some of those things that they've done, and hopefully just make fans feel like we're listening to some of the things that they've asked for. I think the other big change is obviously going to be around parking, that's obviously going to be a change, but we think it's going to be a welcome change at the end of the day. We've got an opportunity to really allow fans that do get there early to really kind of congregate there at the north side of the purple lot there, just south of Central Avenue. All of the bronze lot will stay reserved. And, that was really one of the big catalysts for this was centered around us losing the T lot right there at the Central and Floyd corner, the south, make sure I get my directions right, southeast corner. That's 360 parking spots that we had to adjust for. And so, looking at feedback from fans as well. And so those were some of the reasons for that change. And then the other piece of this that was mentioned this morning is just how do we increase the connectivity, cell service, Wi-Fi around and in the stadium. And, we all know that's an issue. And, that's something that's important to our fans. And so we're going to try to fix it. We're not making any promises at this time, but we did get board approval to go down that road of presumably and potentially putting a Wi-Fi system in, but that's going to take some time, and so didn't put any promises relative to when that was going to be in there, but we fully intend for that to be in the stadium here in the next year or two.
Josh, with the fan zone being in the purple lot, like the front of the purple lot, obviously you're moving things on first basis there.
Yep.
Do you expect there to be more parking spots there or less? Because I know those trailers are kind of in the back there.
Yeah, we'll definitely reduce our parking numbers there. Like I said, with it being in that northeast corner, we're going to have to shift some of our ADA parking presumably over to the west side of the purple lot there, and that's what we'll do. And then, we'll lose some spots, but we have a number of open spots now, and so we think we can accommodate everybody.
Josh, with things in limbo, as you said, why do this now? I think this may be a question a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. To sit here and say we have every detail nailed, we're not quite there yet. And but we did want to go ahead and get our season ticket invoices out just as quickly as we possibly could. And really, there was two reasons behind that. One is just the momentum that we had behind this football season. Really get that process going as quickly as we could. And two, we had a lot of traction on our no interest payment plans last year for our season tickets. And so wanted to try to roll that out again, and obviously the sooner that we could get invoices out to our fans allows that opportunity to transpire.
Just for the fans, when did you guys start talking about this idea, or kind of how did that come about?
I think Vince and some of the other staff were talking about it even before I got hired here, which is in May. Once again, I think whenever you go to games on the road or you just talk to colleagues and folks around the industry are always looking at how can we get better. And, this is one of those things that's kind of popped up as a value add for the fans. I think we're always looking for ways to provide things that you can't get at home, right? That's what we're battling. I can just sit on my couch and watch the game here. And so I think this is one of those things that we can do to really try to enhance, as we really talk through it, something that the families could do together, trying to put that field out there where kids can run around and throw a football or, do some things like that our parking lot just doesn't afford us that opportunity right now.
You guys brought back Fan Fest at the beginning of the year, this year, and then you want to get the fans on in, but is that there been a higher emphasis on stuff like that for fans?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think this, and it's going to be an evolution, right? Like it was with the partnership with the Tailgate guys this year to try to get more fans directly located around Card March. And, we saw some positivity around that. And I think Card March, by and large, was positive. And, how do we just keep building that? And we really thought if we could get those fans that were really engaged, they show up really early, we know they're going to go to Card March, as opposed to having them walk from, Purple Lot D. It's like, hey, we're right here, and we're really going to try to emphasize that fan engagement right there around Central Avenue.
Is there a potential solution being thought about? One of the things that we're seeing is people who tailgate together that may not be able to arrive at the same time. Is there talk about potential solutions to help people out such as that?
I think that's something that fans are probably going to have to sort out on their own. We looked at NFL stadiums and how they do things, and I think a large majority, if not all, NFL stadiums do it this way. And so I think those things have a way of just working themselves out. I think fans adjust within the parameters that they're provided. So I do think that for most instances, they'll say, hey, let's find a place to meet up, whether it's a gas station or somewhere close to campus, and we'll just drive in together and we'll be in good shape.
Josh, what about the RV lot?
Yeah, once again, we're looking at that, and do we create a specific area? Do we try to tie it into the fan zone so that maybe they can park on the perimeter there? Once again, we don't have every detail nailed, but thought it more important to go ahead and get as much information out as we could, and then really nail the details here in the coming months.
Timeline for the hotel and the goal there?
So the hotel it's not owned by the university, and to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of details around it. That's a venture that we're not associated with.
If you guys start construction in the spring, how long do you think it might take?
For the fan zone, that's a great question. I can tell you when we have to be done. We're in the process of working with an architect to design that right now. And, I think that zone's going to evolve as well. We talked about, do we do some temporary video boards here for these first couple of seasons, or definitely this first year? And if there's a lot of traction there, do we, is that something we make permanent? So there's, I think that area will evolve as we move along.
With that area, will there be a certain cutoff you would want people to be in that purple lot to avoid people driving through with the marching band or the bands and the live music?
Well, I think that's one of the things that should be really positive about the speed parking, right? Is they're just going to go from lane to lane to lane, or parking lot and back. And I think that's going to be really helpful too, in that it should make it safer. Because I think we've all been out there where somebody's arriving later than a lot of other folks. They're driving their cars through there, and you kind of keep your head on a swivel for when cars are driving through there. And the hope is that that's largely eliminated, so that we just fill that parking spot or that parking lot up from front to back.
You talked about momentum, and then obviously Coach Satterfield and the staff probably don't mind a whole lot about what's going on in the parking lot, but it is important for the whole fan experience, is it not? Like everything kind of combined, what's going on in the parking lot and in the field kind of goes together hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we hope that this is another example of the athletic department, the athletic director, saying, "Hey, we're listening to you guys as fans." I think it's pretty evident that Scott and Vince both realize what the lifeblood of this program is, and it's the fans. And so to sit here and say Scott's not involved in any of this. That would be incorrect. He's not overly involved, but he definitely wants to know what's going on, and he wants our fans to really enjoy this. I think that was evident throughout the season, but I think that was most evident at the bowl game. The first group that he thanked when he was on that stage was our fans, because he realizes how important they are, and obviously Vince does as well.
These things have clearly been in talks for a long time. Were fan focus groups any part of the discussions at all? Will they be in the future?
Was there any formal fan focus groups? No. I think it was more just word of mouth. Zach and Michael and Michael's team, our ticket ops team, ticket sales team, Vince, everybody. We have weekly meetings about what are the fans saying and how do we get better. And this was one that we heard, and so that's why we decided to make these changes.
On the ticket sales note, what kind of reaction have you seen from the fans since the bowl game?
Well, and Michael, you might be able to answer this one a little bit better. We haven't really gotten into those specific discussions, but just sent invoices out today relative to or go on sale today. So I would presume it's going to be positive, but do we have a specific reaction right now? No, we don't, but we expect there to be a demand there. And once again, it's just exciting, the momentum we've had around this program, and it really is. It's a lot of fun to be a part of this as Scott's building this program and as Vince is doing some things in the department.
Can you talk about kind of a little bit more the premium parking options that people will see? I know there was kind of a limit that they may be able to get when it comes to reserved parking as well. Is that new or different than what they already had in the past?
So if you have premium seats, you will be provided the opportunity to have premium parking. It'll be similar to almost a select a seat. Correct me if I'm saying anything incorrect here, but hopefully around March is when those fans will have the opportunity to either stay in the spots that they're at, but if they were relocated, say from that T lot, have the chance to park in another premium reserved lot.
So they basically have first pick on what they want to do parking-wise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, based on priority. Yep.
Any other questions?